Hi guys, welcome to the VMA school. In this particular video, the series which we have started, that is Learn Financial Modeling for free. So we will be recording the session 2 of that particular series. Now in this particular series, or in this particular video, what we are going to do is that we are going to set up our input sheet, set up our model so that it can be used to replicate other sheets, right? So let's start, guys. As promised to you guys, we will be starting with a very blank Excel, right? And then we will build the model from very scratch, and that model will be a professional model. If you still have not liked or subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and like and subscribe our channel, and also please pass on to your friends who wants to learn these beautiful concepts, right? So guys, let's start. So guys, before starting, let me just take a blank Excel from here, right? So let me just open my Excel. Now you can see I took a blank Excel, right? Now the first thing, see, actually I will tell you step by step where the students lack, where you will get confused, right? So guys, the first thing that you should do whenever you are building a financial model from scratch, right? And you are opening a blank Excel file, right? Then you will be puzzled, what should I do, right? So first thing that you guys should do is that please remove the grid lines of this particular Excel sheet that you see here, right? Because actually model doesn't looks really good when you have these grid lines on your sheet, right? So basically, in order to make the model look better, it's advised to remove the grid lines from this particular, from all the sheets in a particular workbook, right? Now how we can remove the grid lines, guys? So in order to remove the grid lines, the shortcut is Alt, then W, then V, then G, right? Now you can see that the grid lines have been removed. If you want to get the grid lines again, then again you need to press Alt, W, V, and G, right? Now let's suppose if you don't remember the shortcut, then how you can remove the grid lines, right? If you don't remember the shortcut and if you want to remove the grid lines, you can go to View, and here you can see you can uncheck this grid lines option, and your grid lines will be gone, right? Okay, so guys, let's what's next then. So once you have removed the grid lines, then I will suggest you to just make shorter the starting 3 4 columns, right? So you can see I'm making A, B, C, D little bit compressed, right? And E also, let's make it compressed. Now why I'm making it compressed, just give me a few minutes and you will be able to understand why I made those columns little bit compressed, right? It is made compressed because guys, actually we will put headings under these columns. So in order to be consistent across the model, we have compressed these columns. And if you will see the professional models also, you will see that generally the starting 2 3 4 columns are compressed, right? So guys, let's first start with then in the second row. So basically, the version which we are using, or the format which I am going to show you guys. So let's do one thing. Then in the second row, let's place a border, right? So let's go to thick bottom border, right? And then what we can do is that we can go to more borders, right? So this is the border that we chose. Now I want to give it a color, right? So let's give it a color, guys. uh, let's take some color. For example, let's suppose I am taking this color, right? Now you can see there is a color that has been applied here, right? um, let's select first row, and let's do a thick bottom border after first row, not after second row. So guys, this is just a formatting, nothing to worry about, right? Like this is just a formatting. If you want, you can do this. If you don't want, then also it's fine, right? So it's just a simple formatting that we are trying to achieve here. Okay, now you can see we have well formatted our border, right? Then let's go to let's go to row number 8, right? Then let's go to row number 8. Now here, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to write my basically the headings, you can say. So let's suppose I am writing here values in INRK, right? Then here I can write in column number F, I can write particulars, which will be basically denoting your line items. Then I can write here units in G column. Then H column I can write here offset reference. So what are all these? I will let you know. Don't worry about it, right? Then in I column we can have checks. Then J column we can have row total. And then finally in K column we can have constant, right? So guys, let's get into all these particular like heading that I have mentioned here, what these headings represent, right? So guys, first of all, values in INRK is basically the values which we are going to use in your model, right? So currently I have hard coded it, but once I will set up this sheet, then you will see that I will basically formulate it so that if the user of the model wants to change the inputs of the currencies, then he or she can easily do it via a cell. Then we have particulars. So particulars, as you all understand, these will this column uh, will contain the line item names. Then you have units. So guys, as I mentioned, it's all in the case study discussion video that units are very important, right? So basically you need to, every time you are calculating something in a row, you are supposed to write the units over there. If you will not write units, it's very difficult for the user of the model to understand that what units this in this row it is calculated, right? Then we have offset reference. Now what this offset reference means, let's suppose guys I have an input set and I have an input for, let's suppose, tax rate of 15% in the input set, right? Now when I am calculating my P&L statement and let's suppose I want to apply that tax rate, so what I will do there is that I will call that 15% into this offset reference column, right? And then I will link the formula in P&L sheet from this called 15% tax rate in the offset reference column. Now, why we build this? We build this because, like, you can think, if you are linking the formula from another sheet to a different sheet, the sheet names also come at the top, right? So that makes your formula little bit heavier, or you can say little bit long. So in order to avoid those long formulas, what we generally do is that we call up the inputs what we require from the other sheet under offset reference column, and then we multiply or we do the operations whatever is required with that input in that particular sheet. So you will see throughout this model I will be calling out the references from other sheet and I will be using it out, right? So that's the basically use of offset reference. Then you will have checks. So actually a good model is that model which has checks at regular intervals, right? So wherever the checks are required we will start plotting out the checks. Then you have a row total. Now row total is basically the sum of the like values in a particular row. Then you have a constant. So constant is basically the hard coded assumptions which you are going to make in the model. So guys, this is the whole setup that we have in this particular model, right? Now let's do one thing. Let's select this row again and let's place a thick bottom border below this row as well. So I place one thick bottom border, then go to more borders, right? Then let's give it a color also, and let's apply this color to this, and then let's press OK. So I gave it a color here also, right? Then from row number 10, let's start giving our, you can say, input line items, right? Or line item name. So guys, first of all, we have FY label, which is basically your financial year label. Then we have period label. Now, what this period label means, guys? Period label means that whether it is a construction period, or whether it is an operations period, or whether it is an post operations period, right? Then you have a period from. So period from is that the starting date of the period, and then you have a period two, which is basically your period end date. Then you will have a days in a period. How many days are there in a period? Then you will have a period number, right? So guys, these all are the information that we will put in every sheet. Now let's place a normal bottom border below this. So I can easily place place a bottom border below this row, right? So guys, this whole section till row number 15, from row number 1 to row number 15, you will see that we are making this consistent across every seat, right? So a good model is that model which has the formatting which is consistent across the seats, right? So let's suppose if I'm starting my first period from column number n, then every seat should have my first period starting from column number n only, right? It should not be the case that in one seat you are starting your first period from column number n, and in the another seat you are starting your first period from column number o, right? So that is not consistent actually, right? So in order to make the model consistent, you will see, uh, we will make these 15 rows consistent across every seat, right? So the question that might come to your mind is that, so are we going to do this again and again in every seat? No. What we will do is that we will create one sample seat, and we will keep on replicating it for the number of times that we are going to use. And once the model gets completed, then we can simply remove that sample seat, right? So that the hard work or the labor that we are doing right now, it needs not to be done again and again, right? So that's why we will create a sample sheet, and we will keep it on replicating through copy sheets function of the Excel, and then probably we will set this out, right? Now let's move forward, guys. So what next we can do here is that, let's come to column number K, right? Let's come to column number L actually. So here, let's freeze the panes from here. So in order to freeze the panes, what we should do, there is a shortcut named as Alt WFF, right? Now, if you forgot the shortcut, or if let's suppose if you want to remove the freeze panes again, then again you need to press Alt WFF, right? Now, from where you can freeze or unfreeze the panes. In order to freeze or unfreeze the panes, you need to first of all go to the cell where you want to get it freezed. So guys, my requirement is that if I move across right in the seat, then my I want to see my values till column K, right? And if I move down towards my seat, I want to see the values till row number 15, right? So that is my requirement, guys. So what I will do is that I will come to cell number L16 in this particular case, right? And then if you forgot the shortcut, you can go to view. Under view, there is a freeze panes, right? Now here you can do select that freeze panes option, and it will freeze the panes for you, right? Now if you forgot, like if you want to know the shortcut, then the shortcut will be Alt WFF, right? So guys, let's do another thing over here. So what we are going to do here is that, let's make this, in order to look it more professional, let's make this italics, right? And let's bold this, right? And then particularly we can do some alignments also if you want. So basically units, what we can do here is that, We can set up the units to be centrally aligned, right? Then opposite references also we can do centrally aligned. Checks also we can do it like that way. Row total also and constant also we can make it centrally aligned, right? Are we good with this, guys? Okay. Then what's next then? So, guys, the next thing that we are going to do here is that we are going to basically define some cell styles. Now, what is a cell style, guys? Right? I am talking again and again that your model should be consistent throughout, right? It should have same timelines throughout, it should have same color codings throughout, right? So, guys, in order to make the model consistent, we define some cell styles in our model. Now, what are cell styles? So, basically, guys, if let's suppose I want to place anything in column number B, right, then I will introduce a cell style for this particular column, and whenever I am writing anything in that particular column, i will similar I will simply give that cell style which is defined to column B for that particular value, right? Why I am doing so, why cell style is important? Because if you define cell style, then you need to do the hard work at once, right? And once the cell style gets defined, you just need to press the cell style button and your cell will be automatically formatted according to it, right? So in order to avoid all the hassle and all the trouble, what we do is that we define cell styles in our model. So guys, let's define some cell styles over here, right? So first of all, guys, in column number C, I'm going to use some headings. So how we can define a cell style? So in order to define a cell style, what we can do is that we can go to home, right? We can go to home, and under home there is an option of cell styles. Now under cell styles you will see by default there are some cell styles, but we are not going to use it. We are going to create our own cell styles. So guys, in order to create your own cell style, what you can do here is that you can go to new cell style option. Under new cell style, first of all it is asking for a style name, right? So I can say that this style is for, let's suppose, heading C column, right? So let's suppose I define it as this cell style is for my heading C column, right? So that it can easily be introduced and it can easily be understood, right? Now, guys, I want to format this so you can see these particular things which are checked in, right? Now, what I want to do here is that I want to format it according to my own requirement. So I will click on format, right? Under format, first of all, I will click on number. Now, what number do so basically, what format do I need to give it? Do I need to express it as a date? Do I want to express it as a currency or general or custom anything, right? So I want to express it as a general, guys, right? Then it is asking me for alignment. So horizontally it is general and vertically it should be bottom aligned. That is my requirement. So you can, again, you have several options over here. So you can always do the basically you can always basically I will say do these adjustments according to your own requirement, right? Then I have a font option. So I will select Calibri over here, then I can select some size. So I am saying that since it is an heading, so let's use Calibri 14 and let's give it a color, guys. So color I can say let's give it some dark blue type of color. Where is dark blue color? So this is blue, or probably we can go to more color. Then under custom, then under custom what we can do here is that We can assign the RGB value, I think, and that RGB value can be 255. 255. Let's see if it gets converted into blue or not, or probably we can select something from here. Oh no, it doesn't actually. So let's pick up some color from here only. Okay, so I picked some color, guys. Um, then we will see if that color doesn't looks good. Then probably we will remove that color and we can use another color. We can always modify it, right? Okay. Then what's next do we have? Then we have border, so there is no requirement of border in this particular cell. Then it is asking for a fill. I don't want to fill the background. Then protection, I don't want any protection here, right? Then I can probably click on this. Now let's see the magic, guys. Now you have a cell style over here. You can see this cell style got defined here, right? So let's do one more thing, guys. Let's modify it. Let's make it bold also. So from where I can select bold, here you can select bold, right? So now, guys, what is the magic of this? So let's suppose I want to write here model information. So this is my heading I want. Now you can see that this has been pasted or this has been written as a plain text, right? Now I want to give it a heading color throughout my model, that whatever is mentioned in the C column, it should be consistent, right? So in order to do the formatting again and again, what I will simply do is that I will write that, I will reach out to that cell, and under cell style, I will simply click on that cell style for that particular cell, and you can see this automatically got formatted. So guys, cell styles are very important to define in a model, and let's define few more cell styles in our model. So the next cell styles can be, let's suppose if I want to mention something under column number D. So guys, let's go to cell style, and then under cell style, let's go to again new cell style. Then here we can see, say heading D column. Okay. Then again, let's click on format. This should be general alignment should is fine with me, right? And then font color, let's give it as a 12, because what we do in a model is that, guys, we keep on reducing the size of the headings. So let's suppose if C column I have given it as 14 number, then D column we will say that it is a subset of the heading that is on the C column, right? So we keep on reducing the size. So you can see here I gave it as 12. Then let's give it as bold. Then here it is bold, guys. Then Calibri body is fine with me. I don't want to give any border. I don't want to fill anything. And protection. Now let's select color, guys. Color selection is the toughest part. So guys, you can select it according to your own requirement. Like whatever color you require, it doesn't matter actually. But yeah, let me select some color for this particular piece. Uh, okay. Now let's see the magic, guys. Again, I will show you the magic. Let's suppose I wrote something FF. Now, since this is in D column, I will quickly go to cell style, and you can see here. Now that cell is formatted with this style. Okay, cool, guys. This may seems to be little bit boring, but believe me, these are very important for your models, right? It will save your time, guys. Then guys, let's define another cell style. So another cell style can be for input cells, right? Now let's format this out, guys. So number, I can say let it be general number. Then alignment, let it be same. Now font size, I will use Calibri 11 throughout my model. So let's give it as a Calibri 11. Then text color, we can give it as automatic, right? Text color, we can give it as automatic, guys. Then border, right? So here I want that every input cell should have a border, right? So how we can define a border now, guys? So in order to define a border, I can select this outline, right? Now you can see border has been defined for your text. So this will be a text and the borders will be surrounding it out, right? Then under fill, I want to give it as an input color. So I can use some input colors. So background will be this color, guys, right? And then probably I can click on OK and then click on OK. Now let's suppose I place some inputs over here, right? And now I will quickly go to click cell styles and you can see these cells are formatted as cell styles now. Correct, guys? So this is all regarding the input cell styles. Then what next we have? Then we have modelers input, right? So basically, guys, what are modelers input? I will explain you once I will start plotting out the model so that is it is easily understandable for you. But for now, let's just simply create a cell style for named as modelers input, right? Now let's format this again, guys. There is a number, alignment is fine, font regular, Calibri 11, right? Then um, under border, let's give it as a outside border, right? And then under fill, let's give it is something brownish type of color. Or if you don't want to use brownish type of color, then probably you can go ahead with these colors, little bit lighter shade. Okay, so this is all regarding modelers input, guys. Then we have opposite references. So I want to create a new cell style now. Now under opposite references again, I will write it as offset references. I can go to format, number is fine, alignment is fine, font, Calibri 11 is fine, border. Let's give it as a outside borders, guys. And then let's suppose I want to give it some color. So opposite references, let's give it that color. You can choose any color, guys. So for color, it is not any restriction that which color you are using, but it should be consistent throughout the model, right? You will see that once we will complete this model, we will build one navigation sheet, and under that navigation sheet you will see that basically we are um, like saying in that navigation sheet that okay, so if you see this color in the model, then this color is meant for this color is meant for that, so on and so on. Then, guys, we need one more cell style here. So that cell style is previous period reference. Now, what is this previous period reference? I will let you know once I will start plotting out. But yeah, for now, you can think it of like this, that just build it and then I will show when I will use it. So guys, again, number general alignment is fine, right? Then font can be Calibri 11. Then we want to have border. So I can again say, not this one, guys, sorry. Outline borders. There can be outline borders. And then uh, under fill, what I can do is that there are some pattern styles. So I can use some of these pattern styles because these cells are generally empty cells. but we use them inside our formula. So we don't want any user of the model to alter it, because we don't user of the model to alter it, because if user of the model will put in something in that particular cell, then basically our model value will get changed, right? So that's why I don't want to get it altered, right? So you can see here I did this. Right now, if I go to cell style, you can see it will be done like this. Correct, guys? So this is all regarding cell styles. You can create more cell styles. You can create the cell styles for date. You can create the cell styles for time, anything which you require. But these are some basic cell styles that are generally required in a model, right? Now, guys, let's try to plot in some information over here. So, guys, first of all, model information I want to plot out. So, first of all, let's say this to be a model name, right? Now, what is the units for this, guys? Units for this can be text. So, guys, generally units we put in under italics, and it should be centrally aligned. So, model name text, guys. Now, let's say this as, let's suppose I want to say this as project project finance model. I want to say this as project finance model for an example. Correct. Then let's suppose I want to say currency. So currency, let's suppose I will build this model in INR thousands, guys. So let's suppose I say it as INR thousands. Now let's give it a name, because we are going to call it in every seat. So let's give it a name. These are universal assumptions, guys, and this seat is nothing but your setting seat. So you can rename this seat as setting seat, right? Now, model name is project finance model. So, like, guys, let's give it a name. So in order to write a name for any cell, you need to go to formulas, then under name manager, then under name. So I can name this as model underscore name, right? This is a model name. Now there can be two work scope here, guys. One is workbook, one is settings. Now what is the difference between these two? If you select the scope as workbook, then you can call this name at any place or any tab in the worksheet, right? But if you scope this to a particular sheet only, then this name will be applicable in this particular sheet only. And if you try to call out this name in other sheet, it will not be called out, right? So basically you should always scope this to workbook. Then I can say that this is my model name. Now this also I can say this is my units, right? I can give it as a units, or you can say instead of units we can write it as model currency, right? Now model currency is there. Then we will have units title, right? What units title I want to give. So units title I want to give it as, guys, equals to values in space, then ampersand, then I linked it to this cell INRK, so that if the user of the model changes anything, then it automatically gets populated everywhere unless stated otherwise. Okay, so this is my units title, guys. Now I can give this as a name manager under name units title. Okay, cool. Then, guys, you remember now I have hard coded this that values in INRK, right? Now, instead of hard coding this, what I will do here is that I will call it using units title now. So now you can say it says values in INRK understated or otherwise. Now, what is the benefit of this? Now, let's suppose someone changes it to USDK. Now you can see that it automatically gets updated to USDK, right? So that's the benefit, guys. That's why we define it actually, right? So guys, this is the basic information regarding model setup. So these are the few steps which you need to do at the starting of the model when you start plotting it out, right? Now guys, in here this column, I can say model name. So this column is for model name, guys. Now let's format this little bit. Let's give it as a 18 number size, and let's give it as a, let's make it bold first, and let's give it a text color of, let's suppose, this, right? So now you can see if you want to change the name of the model, it will automatically get populated. Cool. Okay. Now guys, in this particular cell under C3, you want to place it otherwise also. I want to get populated here seat name. So you can write the seat names as a hard-coded number, hard-coded entry, or there is a formula to calculate the seat name, right? Now, the formula which I'm writing over here, that formula is little bit tough to understand, but like if you want to understand, you can just drop me a comments. You can reach out to me and I will make you understand separately, right? But in order of the interest of time, let's not waste our time into spending time on that particular formula. But yeah, the formula which I am using here, you can just copy this formula across any of the seats, any of the model, and it will definitely work, right? So basically guys, what is that? The formula is equals to, right, then at the rate cell, then I can say file name. So from file name, right, then I can link it to this one, A1. So A1 is my file name, guys. So I asked it to extract um, from this cell. Then what is the length of it? So length I can say at the rate cell. So whatever is the file name, so get the length of the file name, and then again I will link it from here, and then I will say just deduct, just deduct, find, comma, at the rate cell, file name, comma, A1. Okay, guys, let's keep it a size. Is it not working? Let me just quickly check. What is the problem here? Let file name, comma, len cell file name minus find this, comma, cell file name. Yeah, formula is fine. It should work. Ah, let's quickly evaluate this formula, guys. Oh, currently it is not working, guys, because uh we have not saved this workbook. So let's save this workbook, guys, first. So let me just save this. File name, it is not able to pick it out because we have not saved it. So I can say the VMA school model V1. I will upload the model also, guys, on our channel. So don't worry about it. Your model will also get uploaded, right? Now, when I press this out, now you can see that this has been populated. Now, let's suppose I change this name to A. Now you can see this will automatically get populated, right? So that's the benefit of it, guys. Now let's give it a color also. So everything you need to place some color, guys. This color doesn't look really good actually to me. So let me find another color. Yeah, this color is probably fine. Okay. So guys, this is all regarding model information, guys. Then I have told in my case study discussion, once you have your model information ready, then you can probably start with model timeline information, right? So timeline information is very important, guys. Then I can say model timeline information, right? Now, again, the magic of cell styles, guys, it is in column C. So I will incorporate the cell style as column number C, correct? Now we have few information when your model is going to get started. So model start date, guys, then for how much year you are building the model, right? And then what is your model end date, correct? Now this should be in date format, this is number of years, and this is also in date format, right? So my model start date is, guys, 1st January 2025. Model life is for 10 years, because if you go to the case study, it is saying that you need to build the model for 10 years. Then, guys, what is my model end date? So in order to calculate the model end date, I can use two formulas over here. The number one formula is EO month, and the number second formula is E date. Now, what is the difference between EO month and E date, guys? So let's suppose if you use E date formula here, then it is asking you for a start date, and then it is asking for you the number of months. So let's suppose 10 into 12, I say it, right? Now it will return you a month, which is 1/1/2035, right? But if we use EO month over here, it will always result in last date of the month, right? So let's quickly check it out. You can see it will always result in last date of the month, but e-date will always give you the exact date when it will get ended, right? Now, guys, I personally try to use e-date, but it depends on you what do you want to use, but I generally use e-date, right? So, guys, e-date, I need to give it a start date. Then it is asking me for a number of months. So I can say number of months will be 10 into 12, right? Now you can see this is giving me a date for 1/1/2025. But if something has started on 1/1/2025, then the 10 years will be completed on 12/31/2020, 2034, right? So, guys, what is the problem with e-date is that e-date and EU month both have the same problem, that they don't count the start date, right? So they start counting from next day, right? So the start date they don't count, right? But since we have started from 1/1/2025, so 1 10 year will be completed on 12/31/2034, right? So what I need to do the adjustment over here, I need to do a -1, right? So, guys, whenever you are using EDAT formula, please always remember that it does not count for the first date or first day, right? So please always do this adjustment of -1 over there, right? Because you can imagine, right? एक साल कब होता है, right? When a 1 year gets completed. So if something is starting from 1st January, we say that the year gets end on 31st December 2024. Sorry, 31st December, right? So, guys, this is all regarding it. Now, guys, there are some universal assumptions which we always use in our models, right? So let's plot those assumptions also. So guys, I can quickly plot it out. So let's say miscellaneous assumptions. So under miscellaneous assumptions, let's suppose we want to say that these are units, that I am further categorizing it into different category. Now units is there. Now let's suppose what units I am denoting. So for text, let's suppose date, then number, then true or false, then percentage, and then not applicable. Okay. Now, guys, text will be denoted by text, date will be denoted by date, right? Number will be denoted by hash. Now, true or false will be 0 or 1. Percentage will be percentage, and not applicable will be a text. Now, you might be thinking why I'm writing this. I will show you why I'm writing this. Okay, so let's copy this again, guys. Let's remove this. Okay. Now, guys, let's give all these a name. Now, why I'm giving this a name, I will let you know. So I can say it as units.text, right? Now, what will happen here is that, see, actually, I wanted to give it a units, right? So model name text. So currently, I'm typing it. Now, what I can quickly do here is that instead of typing it, I can call this out. So I can say equal to units under text. So now you can see it automatically gives me text, right? So that's why, guys, just to like save our time, I'm doing this. If you want, you can skip this part. It is not that much important. But yeah, like it will make your life easier, guys. So nothing is useless, I would say. Everything has a meaning to it. Correct? Okay. Then probably if you want to add more, then you can add more. Otherwise, leave it. I just wanted to show it to you guys. Then we have numbers, right? I can again give it a cell style, numbers. Now, guys, first of all, there is a tolerance check. So, guys, whenever we are comparing two numbers, we can always say that 0.01 zero 0.01 ignorance, I can assume that may arise due to rounding of errors, right? So, we generally have a tolerance in our model, which we will use. You will see it. Now, the tolerance should be in units. Sorry, model currency, which is INRK. Then we have a round. How much rounding of you are going to use, right? So I can say up to whatever number I am going to round. Now small. So guys, these all are global assumptions, right? So these all are will be required in your model, right? Any model which you are going to build. So small negative value for IRR. Then we will have, if I want to convert anything into thousands, right? And then let's suppose if I want to convert anything into millions, right? Then if I want to convert anything into year, if I want to convert anything into month, if I want to convert anything into hour, if I want to convert anything into semi-annual, or you can say semester, and last will be if I want to cover anything into quarter, right? Now these all are numbers, guys. So let's give it as a number. Now, guys, tolerance check. So tolerance check, we can assume it to be 0.1. Round. Let's suppose I want to round it to four places of decimals. Now, a small negative value for IRR. So minus 0.0001 you can assume. Converter thousands will be thousands, guys. It should be 1 million. Converted year. Now, if I want to convert something into year, I need to divide it by 365, right? Now, this should be 12 hour 24 hours, semester as 6 months, quarter as 3 months, right? So these all assumptions we need, guys. Now let's define the names for this because these are global assumptions and we are going to use it throughout our model, right? So I can write it as tolerance, right? I can write it as rounding, right? Small negative value for IRR. If you want, you can put a name for it. If you don't want, then also it's fine, right? Then we have a converter thousand. These we are going to use a lot, guys. So I can write it as thousand. Why we are going to use it a lot? Because we are building the model in INR thousands. Then we have million, then converted year. So I can name it as DIY, days in a year, right? Converter month. I can name it as MIY, months in a year. Anything which you like, guys. Hour. I can write it as hour, right? Then semester. Semester, I can write it as semester. And then last, you have a quarter. So you can say MIQ, months in a quarter, right? And you can also say number of quarters in a year, right? So number of quarters is four, guys. So you can write it as QIY, right? Okay, now why we are doing this, guys? If you remember, I have told you that under modeling best practices, there should be the case that nothing should be hard coded inside the formula, right? So you can see here under this formula where I was calculating model end date, I was hard coding something, right? Named as 12. So I will not hard code this, guys. Instead of hard coding this, I will call MIY, months in a year, right? And I will link it from here. So there will be no hard coding inside the formula, right? Everything will be done through basically you can say um references, right? So except 0 and 1, we are not going to hard code anything inside the formula. Okay, guys? Okay, so let's move next. Next piece can be 1 second. Okay, so we have built all these out. Now what's next? Now next can be your lists, right? If you have any lists, so I can say my lists, right? So generally in drop downs, like where you use data validation, you have few lists, right? So you can list all those lists under this setting tab, right? So I can say lists, then heading column C. Then under lists, first category can be your period labels. What all labels are we using for our period, right? and then probably I can give it a cell style of D. You can see, guys, through cell styles, how much it is. Basically, you can say like how convenient it is, right, to work on this. Then I can say my period labels. First period label can be my first period label is for construction actually, and second period level is for operations, right? And now I can give it as a cons, I can give it as a ops, right? Then let's set up some timeline, guys. So I want to set up some annual timeline setup, right? So under, guys, annual timeline setup, first of all, you need to have all these information which are listed over here, right? So let's bring this down. Let's remove the border, right? Let's bring this down, and then let's slide the units. So first of all is in text. This will also be in text. And here I forgot. Okay. Then period from will be in date. Period two will be in date. Days in a period will be number of days. Period number will be just a number, right? Okay. Now, guys, there are few things which we can calculate here right now, given the information that we have. And there are few things which we will not be able to calculate right now, right? So in order to do this, let's see what we can calculate here right now. And if not, then in the input sheet, whatever information we will have, then we will populate this. So guys, the thing that we will not be able to calculate right now is we will not be able to label the period, whether it is a construction period or an operations period, because right now we don't have any information regarding our construction and operations period, right? So we will plot this out later, don't worry about it. But yeah, before that, let's plot something that we can do, right? So guys, first thing is period from, right? Now when you are starting your model, so I can say equal to if my previous period is blank, right? If my previous period is blank, then give me what? Then give me my model start date, right? Then give me my model start date, right? Otherwise, give me like the previous period where it got ended, that date plus 1 day, then that date, right? So that is my requirement, guys. Alt EST, I can say. Then period two. So we are going to plot this in an annual timeline, guys. So we can say my period two will be equal to E date, or you can use EO month also. So start date is this, then it is asking me for number of months. So I can link it to number of months and then -1, right? Then days in a period, guys. So days in a period, you can simply do the subtraction, this minus this plus 1, right? Now period number. Now it is asking you for a period number, right? So I can say equal to if this is not equals to 0, right? Then give me this period plus 1. Otherwise, give me pichla period, right? Now, guys, you can let's look at something here, guys. In this particular thing, you can see that I have used some blank cells inside my formula deliberately to counter for previous period. right? Now, if the user of the model, let's suppose, write something over here, right? Then you can see my value is changing, right? Since I have used these cells and I want these cells to be blank only, so what I will do here is that I will assign some color to it, right? So now you can see that I've said that these are basically used as the previous period reference, right? So now the user of the model will understand this and he or she will not put anything in this particular cell, right? So that's why, guys, this previous period reference cell style is very, very important, right? Now I want to insert a low row level for this, sorry, a FY label, right? So we are assuming here that our financial year is from January to December, to keep the thing simple, guys. So I can say equal to FY, and now I want it to be written as FY25, FY26, FY27, something like that, right? So in order to do it, what I need to do here is that I need to extract, first of all, year from this particular date, right? Now, when I will extract year from this, then I want the last two numbers from that particular year so that I can write it as FY25, FY26, FY27, and so on. So how I can do is that, so I can say from right, just first of all extract the year from this, right? Once you extracted the year from this, then give me from right the two characters, right? So now you can see it returned me as FY25, right? Now let's copy this whole stuff, guys, and let's change the formatting for these dates, guys. uh let's change something as, I think this, yeah, maybe. Okay, and let's make it a central aligned, and let's drag this. So we wanted to build it for 10 years, guys. So my 10 years will be over by FY34. You want, if you want, you can scratch it till last. That's not a problem. But yeah, uh, in this particular case, our FY34 is the last day that we want to plot it out, right? So let's restrict it to FY34 only, guys. Let's not move further. Okay. Now, in this particular sheet, I know I am not going to do anything. So, guys, whenever you are ending any sheet and you know that you don't want to do any calculations further in the sheet, always write, since your last after your last calculations, leave 4 or 5, 6 rows blank, and then always say as end of sheet and give it a color, right? Make it bold, and then probably we can hide the rows below it, right? Now, guys, we have our FY labels ready, right? So we can probably link it here if you want. So let's link it only, guys. And let's format it a little bit. If you want, you can put this as centrally aligned, or instead of calling it a centrally aligned, let's do this one only centrally aligned. Okay. Now let's format this out. Let's go to date. Guys, this may seems boring, but actually I wanted to show to you guys how it works. That's why I'm building this out, right? There is nothing more with it. But yeah, these are required, guys, in order to make professional models. And then let's hide the extra rows or columns. Cool. So guys, in this way, your setting sheet is uploaded. Now, guys, I want to have two things over here. Number one, so my every sheet will have two information. Number one will be master check, and the another one will be seed check, right? Now, this master check will have a background of this, right? And then C check, guys, and master check. So, guys, for this, I want to assign some cell style to it, right? So, how I can assign some cell style, guys? So, in order to assign some cell styles to this, right? So, what I'm going to do here is that I'm saying that let's suppose if this is equals to 1, right? Then it will throw me an error, right? It will throw me an error, right? If this is equals to -1, then it will throw me an error. If this is equals to 0, then only it will show me as okay. So guys, if you want to do such steps, how you can do it is that you can select those cells. You can go to control 1 under custom, just remove this, right? Now there is a way to do it, guys. So first of all, write in double quotes error, right? So the first piece is for your positive number, right? So the first piece is for your positive number, guys, right? Now what will happen here is that I will show you. If it will have any positive number, it will simply give you an error, right? Then next piece is for negative number. So for negative number also I want an error. And the next piece is for your what? Is for your 0, right? The next piece is for your 0. So for 0, I want okay. Because I will set up a check like that, that if everything is like, if that particular piece where I'm calculating check is equals to 0, then give me okay, right? So now you can see here. Now, guys, let's suppose write 1. It gave you error. Let's suppose write -1. It gave you error. Let's write 0. Let's write 0, right? Now you can see it is giving you okay. Now, let's define the conditional formatting for these cells. So I can say highlight cell rules, right? Now I can say if this cell is equals to 0, right? I can say if the cell value is equals to 0, right? Now, if the cell value is equals to 0, then give me what? Then I can say do a custom formatting, guys. Then I can say it should be my okay, right? And yeah, it should be okay, right? Now let's check the rule, guys. I can go to manage rules. You can see here it will throw you a okay. Now new rule I can set. Then I can say the formula. Sorry. Now on the new rule I can say highlight cell rules. Basically I want to set it as it should not be equals to 0. To cell value I can say less than or equal to not equal to. Cell value not equal to 0. Then give me a format of red, right? Okay. Now guys, let's see this. Write it as 1. It is giving you error. Write it as 0. It is giving you okay. So these are the checks, guys, which we are going to build in our model, right? Now let's give it as a this thing. So currently, guys, we will populate this at the very last, right? Right now it's not populated, but yeah, we will populate this out at the last once our model gets completed. Correct, guys? Okay, okay, guys. Probably we can change the color also, but yeah, it's fine. Okay. So guys, we will build the check. Every seat will have this particular check at the top, and then we will probably see how does it works. Correct? Let's not make it as italic, so let's make it bold. Okay. Now, guys, the another thing. There are few inputs which I have written as hard coded number over here. Right? Now I want to highlight all those. I want to highlight all those inputs as a yellow color or input cell. So how you can do it? In order to do it at one go, you press F5 on your computer, right? If it is not opening a dialog box like this, then press F and F5. Otherwise, press F5. Now under F5, you can go to spatial. Now I want to highlight the constants which I have used, right? Basically the hard-coded assumptions that I have used. Now you can see it has highlighted all the steps, right? But I want to only highlight in this particular column, correct? Because I want to only highlight the numbers which I have used over here. So how I can use this, guys, then? Then select all these, then press F5 again. Spatial, go to constants, numbers takes logical errors, you can select. Now it has selected all the hard-coded cells for you, right? Now you have already, under cell styles, you have already set up an input seed cell, right? So press there, right? Now there are some formatting which might get uh, disturbed. So go and change those formattings, like these state formatting is disturbed, right? So you can quickly go and change those formats. Yeah. Okay. Rest it is fine, guys. So guys, this is whole regarding setting seat setup. Now what I will do quickly here is that I will create a replica of this seat. So let's create a mover copy, create a copy, press OK, right? Now I will first of all write input, right? Or you can say, let's write the sample. But still, the sample set is not complete because you can see period labels are not there, right? So we still need to complete it out. But yeah, for the time moment, let's say it as a sample, right? And from sample sheet, remove all these pieces, right? It will give you referrer. Don't worry, guys. I am sorting it out. First of all, from sample sheet, unhide all rows, right? Yeah. So let's unhide all rows. Then these all you can link it to your setting sheet. So for the first time only you need to do a setup. Otherwise it will work perfectly fine. Cool. Okay. Now model name. I can link it from here. Now this unit's title. I can link it from here. Right? Now there is a challenge, guys. The challenge is that since I have copied this seat, right? So you can see the name range is restricted to work seat now, right? So probably, first of all, let's filter out name with errors, because let's delete these out. So whenever you copy or move a seat, it's always the case that your names also gets copied, and for the newer seat the name is automatically set to basically your the name is automatically set to, you can say, worksheet level, right? So that's the challenge, guys. So I can say it as model underscore name, and this will be units underscore title. Cool. So guys, this all we did, all the hard work we did. Now let's do one more thing over here. Let's select all these whole rows, and then let's say not all these whole rows, guys. Let's select only this piece, because we are going to populate numbers over here. So let's say this should be comma and this should be 0, right? So your sample sheet is ready. The only thing that remains in sample sheet is that we need to have period level that we will populate it from input sheet. So guys, let's move or copy this sheet, then create a copy. And now you will see that I will use these sheets again and again to create our uh, rest of the sheets, right? So this is all regarding basically settings it set up in this particular video. In the next video, guys, we will fill out these period levels when we will set up our input sheet, right? So guys, stay tuned for the next video where we will be setting up the whole input sheet through our case study. Whatever information is present over there, we will cover it in our next uh, video, right? That will be the session 3 video, right? So guys, this was the basic setup which we did in the model. Now our model is pretty much set up right now, right? First of all, in the next session we will start building out input sheets. Then in the next sessions after it, we will start building out the calculations, right? Capex calculations, asset calculations, debt calculations, and so on, and we will move further in this particular model, right? So guys, this session might seem a little bit boring due to formatting and all. But yeah, this is very important, guys, because if you don't format it, then your model will not look good, right? So currently you can see it's looking pretty much good right now. So yeah. So guys, that's all in this particular video. If you have still not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. You can join our WhatsApp community also, which is in the video description link, right? You can follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram, right? And please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also please pass on to your friends who need it, because we are providing it for absolutely free right now, right? So our aim is to reach out to maximum students, and if you have any doubts, you can always reach out to our contact details, right? So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope I was able to help you guys. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you have any queries and all. Yeah, till then, bye bye, thank you, and happy modeling.